Hey everybody, it's Justin, your guide into the other side. Let's talk about loot and leaderboards. So, you might be wondering, hey, how can I see the progress of me fighting, fighting the Shattered, whether I got a loot box or not, etc., etc. So we got an update about 2 hours ago from the Otherside meta account. The camp has been updated to include leaderboard access, so we can see the progress on the leaderboard as well as whether we've killed a Goliath boss or not. But active Shattered gameplay is still down, so we're still waiting for that. They'll update that as fast as possible, but until then. So right away, we have a second tweet here that has that covers treasure chests. So treasure chests are earned by Voyagers who vanquish Shattered relative to the time it takes to win their battles. Right. So the time it takes for you to defeat a Shattered Goliath boss, that will determine the rarity of chest that pops out at the very end, and kind of determines what kind of loot that you're going to get. And we'll analyze that in just a second. But basically, reward quantities are limited based on environment tier and will vary. So it's very important to note that this is very similar to sediment farming, right? There's a global loot pool, and each chest that you get from defeating a Goliath kill will pull from that loot pool, okay? And they're segmented based off their environment tier. That's why the environment tiers are different. So obviously, the higher your environment tier, obviously the higher the Shattered boss HP will be, and the better the loot will be. Based I guess comparatively between environment tiers. But each tier has different tier loot boxes as well. We'll get into that in just a moment. I know it's a little bit confusing, but let's just take a look at the loot, right? So right off the bat, there's 3 rarities of loot boxes available to every single environment tier, right? Whether you're environment tier 1 to up to environment tier 5, you'll have access to novice, intermediate, and master chest, depending on how fast you defeat your Goliath boss. But at least one item from below categories are guaranteed while supplies last. So that's very interesting. Let's take a look at the kinds of loot that we can get. So right off the bat, we can see there's Forgotten Runes loot. So that's a subsidiary. That's like a Yuga partner project, not subsidiary. My bad. And then there's also Serum City. So if you're interested in like city building games, you can check that out as well. There's also loot boxes to that. But there's also Applied Primates and Renga loot. So that's very interesting. So there's 4 out of the total pool of, I guess, battle loot. And right off the bat, I mean, that's pretty interesting. Personally, I have a Forgotten Rune wizard, so I'm actually really juicing for these legendary parts, or just the rare, or whatever chest comes out. I'd be really happy with Forgotten Runes loot, or even Serum City, or Renga or Applied Primates. Great collections. Definitely love them. I'll probably cover them in future videos. But additionally, there's the big ship parts as well. So you can pull like engine parts, hangar parts, etc., etc. So it seems like it'll segment into future parts of Legends of the Mara gameplay, which is yet to be revealed. So again, there's a giant pool that we can choose from. Again, if you wanted to take a look at the subsidiary, not the subsidiary, I keep getting that mixed up, but the partner collections. That may have loot essentially. There's 4 seasons. We had 4 types of, we had 4 partner projects featured: Renga, Megaforce Sentinels, Forgotten Runes, and then what was the other one? Renga. So maybe we see Battle Ally for Base AC 10 KTF and Meebits, Cryptodes, etc. for the other ones. So that's going to be super interesting. Oh, Mutant Hounds for Serum City. Yep. So anyways, let's jump into the camp, right? So right off the bat, if we take a look at this, let me zoom this in a little bit. So I've had my farmer on my Rainbow Atmos land, or my bog, and it's just kind of been farming in the background, and I haven't necessarily had to log in or click harvest or anything like that. It just kind of added the fragments to my fragment pool. But yeah, I'm watching this biogenic swamp just like get depleted like super quickly. It's like at 79%, and I think we're at day 8. So that's super interesting. And then we also have my DPS. We have our DPS here at 60. But you're probably wondering, where can you find the leaderboard? And if you click on your Otherguide, there's a leaderboard icon at the very top here next to your address. And you can click on it, and it will bring you to your tier of your fastest deed that you're. I think it's the fastest deed, but basically you can scroll down to the very bottom and you can kind of see where you're at. Personally, I am rank 504, and I haven't necessarily defeated a Shattered Goliath yet, but I can kind of see the time and the percentage of how long it's taken me so far. So it's taken me about a day and 23, or basically 2 days to get 9.42% of chipped out of the Goliath boss's HP. So I can kind of check my progress. I haven't necessarily gotten a leaderboard loot, but that's not necessarily where I can kind of compete in. The leaderboard loot is kind of extra, for those top I guess 100 players, I believe. Yeah. So basically up 1, 2, 3, you have a certain amount of. I know my head's in the way, but there's different kinds of leaderboard. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna forget that. Basically, there are different kinds of leaderboard loot for the top players. But the majority of your loot will essentially come from these boxes from defeating your Goliath bosses. So by all means, I'm gonna try to optimize and get to the play this to the best of my ability. I'm super juiced for these like Forgotten Ruins, Serum City, as well as Rengar Applied Primate loot. But we'll see as we go over time. So what I did want to talk about that I did notice, like we do have legendary parts like per tier. I think they all have the same for the I don't think they really change, but I did want to open up the catalyst because I know this is going to be super pixelated. Okay, so if you read the top of this, it says Legends of the Mara Catalyst King 1 webpage. So this is an image of the catalyst that actually comes out of the top spot of each leaderboard. So there's only going to be 5 of these. It's a little super legendary. I think very interesting aesthetics. They don't follow any of the constellations that I've seen. So if you combine this with Amara, what kind of aesthetic you're going to get, I have no clue. But it looks super epic. Looks like a king for sure. Looks like it's got a crown. Looks super interesting. So super dope. Like a little bit of alpha. Definitely right click on this and open up image because that'll show you something really cool. But anyways, I'll probably share this later. Again, do let me know what you think about the loot, what you're trying to get. Especially definitely use that tool that I referenced yesterday from Otherguide. That'll help you determine that'll help you optimize your deed for the fastest sediment harvest as well as hunting too. So you can optimize your you can optimize your deed as well as you can with what you have, and just deploy your Odas as efficiently as possible. So again, that's all I got. Definitely let me know what you're doing and hit that like and subscribe button because it always helps me create more content. You can always find me on Discord or Twitter. Or find me. The links are in the description. So I'll see you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.